Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. My name is KMG, and if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe, like and share this video. So in today's tutorial, I'll be learning how to make this mermaid skirt with tail. So if you're a beginner and you really want to learn how to make this skirt, then this video is for you because it's well detailed. So let's get started. So here I have 3 yards of suede material, and I've gone ahead now to fold it into 2 because I'll be cutting the front piece first. So basically what I'm doing here now is to actually draft my starting point line, which you are seeing me doing. So from this very point now, I'm going to come down by 0.75 inches. This is more or less like another starting line, but this starting line now, from that point that you see me mark up to the first starting line, is just for my sewing allowance, because at least if you want to fold these skirts, you will need an allowance for sewing, or if you want to join it to the upper part of the body, you will need allowance, right? So that is basically why I came down by 0.75 from that starting point line that I drew first. So this point here is just my sewing allowance. So next I'm going to do now is to mark my hip line, and from my half length is 17.5 inches from my shoulder. So from that point now, I'm just going to keep my tape from that 17.5 inches from that second line that I drew there to mark my hip line, which is at 27 inches, which I just marked now. So next over now, I'm still going to place my tape from that 17.5 inches, which I'm going to trace down to my knee length, and my knee length is actually 39.5. So I'm just going to mark that throughout the dress, just as you see me do, and I'll go ahead and use my ruler to connect them together. So after doing that, basically next I'm just going to go over and do is to get the full length of this dress, and the full length of this dress is actually 63 plus my 1 inch sewing allowance. So here I'm just marking 60 inches because that's what the tape has. So after marking that 60 inches, I will equally go ahead and add my 4 inches allowance to make it 64 complete. That is plus the sewing allowance. So I'm just going to go over and then connect them with my ruler. So after doing that now, I'll go ahead and take my body circumference, which is also known as horizontal measurements. So I'll basically take my waist measurement divided by 4, and I'm just going to mark that there, plus my sewing allowance. This is actually a stretchy fabric, so I'm not going to be adding a dart allowance because it's very stretchy. So I'm just going to go ahead now and mark my sewing allowance, which is, I'll be working with 1.5 inches. Which I'll basically just mark there. Then that takes us down to the hip measurement, which is my hip divided by 4, and I'll just mark that there and also add my 1.5 sewing allowance. So I'm going to just take the measurement of my hip again, and whatever I get now, I'm going to minus 1.5, and I'm going to apply that on my knee line. So once I deduct it 1.5 from it, I'm just going to get my round knee measurement. So I'm just placing it well to make sure that I actually got the correct line, and I had to put back the correct mark for it. So I'm just going to go ahead now and connect everything together, from the hip line to the knee line, and also from the hip line to the waistline. So I'm just going to blend that place to give it its curvy shape well. So I'm just going to extend that knee point now to the end of this dress using my long ruler. So I'm just doing that carefully so that I can get perfectly what I want. So next I'll be doing after that is, at this point here, I'm just going to go up by 2 inches. This is basically just to give the side a curvy effect. Let it not just be so blunt and sharp at the end. So from that point, I'm just going to blend in a curvy manner to meet at the center front of the line. So this is basically what I'm just doing. So after that, I will just go ahead now and proceed to cutting out the dress, following the white lines that I've actually outlined outside the body. So I'm just going to do that carefully so I don't make any mistake or shape the dress. And this is basically what we are going to have. Next I went ahead to do is to place my front piece on top of my back piece, ensuring that my back piece is folded into 2. Then I went ahead to place my front piece, ensuring that the side, which is the hip region, is facing this part, and then the front part is facing this place. So in this front part, which is here, I went ahead to add more allowance. As you can see, up to 11. You can add as more as you want. It's just for the back piece to have enough tail. So if you want to add more than this 11, you can go ahead to do that, but here I'm just working with 11 based on the material available for me and what my clients needs. Then for this down region, in order to give me that tail effect in my mermaid gown, I went ahead to what, add 10 inches. So you can add as many inches as you want, just depending on what your client wants and also your material. So at this new region now, that's for the front skirt, you can see this pointer, please, I'm pointing. That is the new region. So I'm just going to rule a straight line to connect to the back piece, just as you see me do so. So after drawing my line to connect to the back side, next I will go ahead to do is to mark out my zipper allowance, which is 1.5. So I'm just basically doing that, and after doing that now, I will connect from this point to the down area of that side. So I'm just going to connect that with a straight line, just as you see me do in this video. So next I'm going to do after that is to connect from this point to the other end using a curved line. So you can use your French curve to do this, you can use your free hand to actually do that. So this is just me actually connecting that point to the very end of the dress, just to give that curvy effect that you always see in a mermaid gown or a mermaid dress. So I'm just carefully doing that to get the curve that I need. Next I'll do after that is to go ahead and cut out. So this is just me carefully cutting the piece out, just to basically get what I'll be needing. So if you find this video very helpful, please do subscribe, like, share and turn the notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video like this in my channel. Thank you and see you in my next video. Bye.